The first time we drove through Paradise, it was truly a horrific experience, and we were hit by so many emotions. It was a combination of trying to understand what was happening to us, what we were seeing, and trying to also understand what happened to the people who live there and the devastation and trauma they must be experiencing.
It is probably the most culturally resilient town I've ever encountered. The people are extraordinary, both in their passion for the place and their commitment to rebuilding. The class that the students signed up for is under the umbrella of something called Citizen Architect. When the fire happened in November, we sort of turned our attention towards Paradise, asked if they would like our help, and they gave an enthusiastic yes.
Working with a real client is a completely different experience than anything you get from really any other studio. This project is learning through service. What that really means is it's kind of like an emotional investment in your work. You have to get into the details, like what are all the layers of your walls? How are they going to connect to each other? How does it connect to the site? How can this be a real building that can be built and serve real people?
We've spent a lot of time learning things that don't sound like architecture. We spent the first couple of weeks learning how to listen with empathy, translating the stories we hear into architectural narratives, how to respond, both as a human but also as someone who has a particular focus on rebuilding and infrastructure. The first week of spring quarter, we went on a tour of communities that were recovering from either systemic disaster or a single event. So we spent a lot of time in New Orleans looking at post-Katrina recovery. We learned a lot from Tulane. The students were able to see projects that were taken all the way from design to fruition. It's really critical for the students to learn what to do and what not to do for communities that have been through something similar.
In reflection, I think we're all insanely proud. We've all developed this attachment to the people, to the community, to the project, and finishing is giving them this gift of design, which is the only thing that we can possibly do as architecture students to help this community that's gone through devastation.
The reason I do this job is because I love service, and I get to experience that with 36, now 50 students who are getting to see the impact that architects have on the world.